Well, China and Russia want the United Nations Security Council to end several economic sanctions against North Korea. A similar effort 2 years ago did not succeed. The UN first imposed sanctions back in 2006 after North Korea's first nuclear test. Subsequent weapons tests have tightened restrictions to the point that an estimated 90% of North Korea's global trade is blocked. Nina Shea, Senior Fellow and Director of the Center for Religious Freedom at the Hudson Institute, joins us now. Nina, welcome back. Always so great to see you. So as we said, China and Russia say, removing the sanctions, they say it will enhance the, quote, livelihood of the civilian population. Nina, I'd like to get your reaction to that.
Well, North Korea is the world's worst persecutor of religious believers. And a new report called North Korea Future, has determined that there is a total denial of religious freedom. The government of North Korea deliberately targets religious believers for their faith, particularly Christians. They go after Christians in the most severe way. And so it's extremely problematic when they're putting their own people in prison. They are giving them life sentences just for gathering together in prayer or for being in possession of a Bible or a crucifix. And they are beaten mercilessly in prison if they are caught praying. They are beaten for confessions. They are they're victims of sexual violence in these prisons, and they're given indefinite sentences or life terms. So they are maltreating their own people to the hilt. They are also facing a famine because of their policies. And they have refused to surrender their nuclear weapons and are testing ballistic missiles. So they are a threat to the world, and they're a threat to their own people. It's a quandary what to do about them. They are a client state of China. And China is following their model, actually, on religious freedom. The few Christians that are still surviving in North Korea after 7 decades of repression are people who have gotten out temporarily to China and encountered Christianity there and were baptized there, and they bring back the faith, basically to their own family members, because the situation is so repressive, they don't dare risk talking about their faith or praying with others outside their families. Mostly these are women Christians. They're people from ages 30 to 60. And one woman was beaten to death in a recent case that this Korea Future report documents. And I recommend for your viewers to review that report. So it's a very tough problem for the United States and the world. We should not be supporting this government. They will not use it for the benefit of their people, but to arm themselves.
And Nina, I want to mention this. I know that you know that South Korean President Moon Jae-In actually met with Pope Francis recently, and he urged him to visit North Korea in order to foster peace. And yesterday, the Korea Herald reported that the unification minister who accompanied President Moon on that trip to the Vatican said it is definitely possible that the Pope will visit North Korea. That said, do you think that's possible? And if so, how significant would that be?
Well, I think it would be extremely significant if it occurred. It could be a new opening to North Korea to de-escalate the threat it poses for the rest of the world, and also usher in response to that, food and aid and medicine that would reach the people. I don't think it's very likely. The North Korean government fears, it's a Communist Party government, they fear the Pope, they hate the Pope, they hate religion, they ban it, they punish people who pray, who have Bibles. Really the last thing they want to do is to honor the Pope with a visit, and that's the way they see it. China sees it the same way. China's president several years ago went to Italy and did not bother to visit with the Pope, as is customary for most visiting heads of state to Italy. So I think it's extremely unlikely, but it's, I can see why South Korea would want to try another approach.
Nina, thanks so much for coming on. We always appreciate your insight.
Well, thank you.